What made her feel even more uncomfortable was when she pressed the button for her floor, there was no other lit number.
I've always wanted to visit a foreign country. It'd probably be pretty intimidating for me though. And out of all the foreign countries that I'd like to visit, most of them are just to experience the food. But if I wanted to experience the culture, I think Korea would be an interesting place because I'm really into gaming and that's where some of the best gamers in the world are born. I know that there's probably a lot going on out there that I would love to see. Now, as far as being intimidated by traveling to another country, it's kind of scary when you think about it. Like, don't get me wrong. If you know that you're leaving to go to another country, you would kind of prep. You'd get some things in order, like you'd learn a little bit of the language so you could do things like order food and get directions and things like that. But when you think about having the language barrier in general and just being in such a place so far away from your own home where you don't know anybody or hardly anybody, you would think that you could be targeted easy or no telling what happens. I'm sure there's a lot of crazy horror stories that come out of traveling to countries when you're not from there, and this is one by Horror Shorts Party. It's the true Korean horror story. Make sure to head on over to subscribe to him, guys. Hit the notification bell, and if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the animation. Horror Shorts Party. True Korea horror story narrated by Lazy Masquerade. I love this narrator.
So, this story happened to my mum's friend in Korea about 10 years ago. Every time I hear this story, I still get chills. My mum's friend lived in an apartment complex in Seoul. She was a stay-at-home mother with a young daughter, and her husband was working during the days. One day, she was coming home from running errands with her daughter and got onto the elevator in her building. When she got inside the elevator, she noticed there was a man wearing a cap and a yellow raincoat. And he kept his head low, so she couldn't really see his face. She immediately felt really uneasy, and she made her daughter stand by her side, the side farthest away from the man. What made her feel even more uncomfortable was when she pressed the button for her floor, there was no other lit number. And on top of that, she noticed that he was carrying something wrapped inside newspaper.
He's just riding the elevator? This man is just riding the elevator. No lights lit, just chilling on the elevator. You know, the bad thing about when you got on an elevator and you realize it's uneasy, there's really nowhere you could go. You know, I mean, sure, there's a camera, but think about it. Outside of them being caught, what good is a camera gonna do to protect you? Outside of them maybe knowing their consequences behind getting caught for doing something to you. And with my kid, guys, normally with my family, when I feel the slightest bit of unease around people, we just avoid it. You know what I mean? It might be a little bit too late once you press the button, though.
To his side.
What's he carrying, too?
Things started to click in my mum's friend's head, and she started to panic and decided to take out her cell phone and pretend she was calling home to her husband, who was obviously really not at home, but at work. She started saying things like, "Oh, I'm on the elevator and about to get off. Can you get the door for me?" And making it seem like her husband was waiting at home. When the elevator did reach her floor, she quickly got off and grabbed her daughter and started to walk as fast as she could to her apartment. She noticed that the man also got off on her floor and was slowly following her down the hallway.
Oh my gosh, dude.
When my mum's friend got to her door, she started banging on it really loudly and shouting, "Hey, Yobo, I'm home. Please open the door." Yobo means husband or dear. She was kind of pretending like he was coming to open the door. Upon seeing this, the man in the yellow raincoat started to walk away, back towards the elevator.
Weird, dude.
When he seemed to be far enough away, my mum's friend quickly picked up her daughter and slid open her door's passcode thingy. This is usually how people get into their homes in Korea. And she started to frantically punch in her key code. But the problem was that the buttons would make sounds, so that the man knew that no one was going to answer the door for her.
Oh no.
And he turned around and started to run back towards her.
What?
My mum's friend at this point was practically screaming. And the first thing she did when she opened the door was throw her daughter inside.
Boom!
When she got inside herself, she saw that the man was practically inches away from the door.
What the hell?
But she managed to shut it and lock it
Thank
just
goodness.
before he could wedge his hand or a weapon in through the door. Afterwards, looking through the door's peephole, she saw that the man was walking away, back towards the elevator.
Man.
Several months pass, and my mum's friend was watching the news, and there was a coverage on the capture of a serial killer named Yu Young Chul, who used to kill a lot of prostitutes. She told my mum that she could never forget the dread she felt when she saw the all too familiar yellow raincoat and the same hat that he was wearing when he was apprehended.
Dang. Bruh, can you imagine knowing that you were about to be attacked? I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's kind of obvious that if a person starts running down the hall at you in a situation like that, they mean you harm, right? And your family is with you. Guys, that has to be the scariest thing that you can think of. You know, it just, I've been in positions before where I felt trapped in a room with somebody coming after me. Again, I talked about this a little while back. I have a video that I did about a true story of mine, a personal experience. And the guy was literally using his knife to try to pry the lock open with the door, saying, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. Look, I gotta tell you, y'all, knowing that someone is out to get you, I can still feel my heartbeat in my chest. And that was only me. That wasn't even a kid, you know, that I was protecting. Crazy, man, crazy. Great story though, and a great combo. I always really love the narrations done by Lazy Masquerade, and Horror Shorts Party is always awesome with his animations. Guys, make sure to check him out. The links will be in the description as well, and you can check out these videos that are reacted to from him as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.